Grand Rising, and day, grand excitement in whatever sector you're coming at me from. At the time of this recording, this is Patricia Ann Landon Regali, Little Flower, from Houston, Texas, coming at you from the great state of Washington here in Linwood. So, oh yeah, and it's October 26th, 2023, and it's Thursday, and at the time of this recording, it's pretty much straight up noon 06. So, update. I had a very respectful time here, last night, um, courtesy of the admin of Fred Meyer. My truck is still here. I appreciate that. It was cold last night, and it was pretty wet yesterday. So it was rough de-thawing, in my position and everything. But I've made my cut for what I can take with me in my red wagon. So whatever you guys decide you have to do, that's on you guys. But I'm ready. Now my hope is that the gang stalking is abolished and the targeting of individuals stop with each of you. Stop with everybody. Just to, ghost those bastards, Because your soul kind of really depends on it, salvation and everything. Oh, and that word salvation, you gang stalkers have used that to punk me with. I mean, the irony. I'm like, okay. I know that you guys are my little flying monkeys, and when I say, you guys end up using to mock me. And I know why you used the word salvation to mock me with, but the humor was really lost on you. Is that how little you think of your own salvation? Because you shouldn't. You light yourself into the lowest vibratory frequency throughout the earth, world, and planet. And otherwise, your avatar kicks out from underneath you and you get sucked in right in there you go. That's no place anybody wants to be. And if you think you're going to get special privileges by, selling out humans as Team Judas and traitors for that Lord and Master, honey, he's already had you forsaken before you got there. That's just what he does. So, I'm hoping that the communities reach out and help your fucking targeted individuals. I mean, we have Back to Blue. We have Black Lives Matters. I mean, come on, guys. I've seen you in action. Some of these beautiful, highly melanated gods, and there's some good-looking black men out there with beautiful families that I guess got their reparations in because, they're targeting me. I'm like, I guess it felt good to be on that end of the stick for a goddamn change. But honestly, it was your children I had compassion for. I'm like, okay, you come from a bloodline of oppression, and your dad here is teaching you to oppress. And that's your reparation? That you're sowing into your bloodline? That's what I saw. But, I also kind of felt like the outcast, too. And in that moment, it kind of weighed me down. That's what it's supposed to do. I dodge and weave this bullshit on the constant. So, okay, feds, for all of your psychological woo-woo, you left me here as a goddamn target in the fucking frying pan. So whatever. You're under fire too. Hopefully, you can give a good walk and talk and why that happened. I'm still open, but I still want out. So, yesterday for the most part was very respectful. I mean, you still had your government grubbers running their dick into the ground. I mean, come on. That's got to stop. I'm just cleanup crew where I'm like, you guys, that's wrong, that's wrong. I can see this. You can't fucking lie to me. I mean, I've had some narcissists lie to me and think I was buying into it because they were lying to me. So they believed that what they were doing was what the outcome was. And it wasn't. So, whatever. Narcissists will just believe what they want anyway. And hopefully, we have some advanced ones out here that can evolve from that and grow from it. That's what I'm angling for. So I'm really hoping the paradigm can be the businesses rally for the goddamn targets and you guys motherfucking ghost your goddamn cesspool. Because you know what? At the end of the day, what I've learned, because I learned from I consider them my mentors, the other tarot readers on YouTube. A lot of my information I get from the ethers, I get from the conduits on YouTube. I'll be more forthcoming in giving them credit because I realized I'm like, oh, I really need to mention who I got that from. And I'll get there. I'm a work in progress. But if you go to my Facebook and see the ones on there, that's who the accolade belongs to and what I've gleaned and what I've confirmed from. So they're the badasses, okay? So instead of joining forces, with InfoCorps and Citizen and for Guard, Citizen Corps, and FEMA, the truth needs no explanation. I learned that from Nephilim, the tarot goddess on YouTube. I mean, she's such a badass. I take notes from them so I can learn. And that's what I've learned. The truth requires no explanation. So, the power to ghost is yours. The power to detach from the gang stalking, lynch mobs y'all got going on there. It's just to detach. Ghost them. And that requires no explanation. But again, if you're about the pie, right, and getting your fucking government benefits on that grift card, well, that's on you. I respect that and I support you in your decision making for yourself, no matter how fool ass it is, sure. But businesses need to, I'm going to tell you this, to be able to be a provider of anywhere in any context of any society, that's a privilege. That is a privilege. And if you do not think God can smite that down, well, we're going to have a fun time watching. That's the download I got yesterday. That was a download. And I'm still learning my psychic abilities, but that one hit me pretty hard. So, if you're a business participating in this, well, that's the risk you run with selling out your integrity, with selling out your ethics, that anybody would want to do business with you. Unless, of course, you're in for Corps and Citizen Guard, and you're going to be king when martial law goes into effect, well, then you can just make them buy from you and run out all the other businesses. So why would you care about supporting a goddamn targeted individual when you have so much more to gain off coming at the populace sideways and all? Because that's what the real picture here is, people. Think ahead. Think ahead. But these lovely miscreants that get lost in the sauce, with the flying monkeys, y'all got gussied up in your nice cars, no telling how many kills you had to do to get that. And then all of your other perks I see you run around with the nice makeup and the hair. And I've seen families go to grift shopping. And it was so sad. I mean, because if you're going to look at the socio-economical stereotype, I'll tell it to you all unethical as the stereotype. It was like the hillbilly family got all gussied up on the goddamn motherfucking walker. And the walker that was one of those electric scooters came back with bunches of bags. I'm like, oh, that's what it looks like stereotypically. But esoterically, it's even worse than that. Again, it's pyrite. So, businesses, you have an ethical right to yourself to not participate in fucking Auschwitz as goddamn Hitler. Y'all are Hitlers. Y'all got like the central headquarters, the little headquarters and sister satellite headquarters of fucking Hitler. They used their business for. And then you come in to patronize the goddamn business and then get targeted too. Maybe even poisoned. For reals. Because we're talking ethics. If these people can run a business and run other people into the ground being murdered, I mean, what chances do the wares have to represent who they are? Pretty good. Unethical. So, if you're a gang stalker and you don't know the magnitude of it, there you go. And while you have the inside eyes, take a look at the businesses. See what their unethical practices are doing. Because you have a right to report that, especially as a goddamn gang stalker gone straight. But you do have an anointing to stay the walking the walk of going straight, you know? But that's the battle. That's your come to Jesus moment with understanding whatever it is that you believe in. Doesn't have to be Jesus. I suggest it's not Satan, no. That's the only. I'd be like, not that guy. Or anybody that belongs to him. So while you may have a thriving business today, with the headquarters of allowing the gang stalking, treason, government to roost in on, and you got your big boy privileges and all of that, especially with your child molesting privileges in your back pocket, just in case you ever want to express that. I mean, parents that are ethical, would you want to go shopping at a big place of business with a proprietor that is known to enjoy the privileges of child molesting as a religion and as a practice? Because, you know, part of that cesspool includes the human trafficking, the sex trafficking. I mean, it's so handy. If you are a misogynist and love your fucking liquor and your cigars and you're wanting prostitutes, well, you know, it's heaven for them. Why would they want to give that up? And then throw martial law on top of it? Oh my God. They walk around with stiffies all day looking at each of us when they can take us out. All legal and everything. That is our world right now. That is exactly what is happening. So, businesses, just because you got away with it for 25 years or whatever, doesn't mean you're going to get away with it for the next 25 years. The jig is up. It's done. It's over. Fini. Now, if you want to go on acting the circle jerk and the fucking mental masturbation with, you know, easing everybody's ego into it to keep it going, to squeeze it to the last fucking drip of bone marrow, until the last fucking targeted individual is squeezed out of their life, well, you go right on ahead. Now it becomes a different baseline, because, you know, tables are being turned and flipped and all that. Because you've got that business right now. Were you enacting and endorsing ethics as a practice because you owe that to your community? Because a lot of you haven't been doing that. So, that's why proprietors have an obligation not only to the community, but to be first and foremost to their own fucking employees. Have y'all been squeezing them and, bullying them into becoming the goddamn Hitler? I see a lot of that. Did the employees allow their fucking employers to browbeat them into becoming complacent with being Hitler? Because, a government grub. I've seen a lot of you people with no ethics that'll do anything for a goddamn dollar. And not to mention this treason government has really trained you guys, hand-groomed you into being handout recipients. So you won't ever think about ever turning down an unethical practice. I mean, you guys have actual smear campaign people who get paid to do that, psychologists that get paid, and how to really wreck somebody's inner sanctuary so they destruct from the inside out. I mean, it's a well-oiled machine, people. It's a diabolical machine. It's a demonic machine. And it's been so good. It's been there on the down low, all covert and shit for like 25 years. They fucked us good, honeys. It wasn't just you, it was me too. But as it is, the only reason why I'm being gangsta is because of just personal ego, my mother-in-law, and money. And money. I mean, if you thought you were trying to do what you call that? There's a word for it. Like some kind of do-gooder. Vigilante do-gooder. Like Dexter. Dexter was wrong as fuck. He should have just been taken out all in the beginning. You ask me. Instead of him playing God, what you have here is a bunch of miscreants playing God. I mean, you guys are playing God over my life right now. And you're doing a crappy job because none of you have even come to fix my goddamn truck that you people have endorsed and sanctioned to kill me. I mean, because it was really supposed to be a motor vehicle collision. And, God just tucked me right away into a very nice fucking spot. But I still have to deal with the psychological abuse and torture day in and day out. So, they can still work me over. And then, when I get passed around, breaking down in somebody else's goddamn parking spot, well, they get a bit of the prosperity pie by sending people to come fuck with me. To get me to crack my egg, to get me to act out of sorts, to fucking put me in fucking a mental asylum or jail, or just get me to fucking opt out. It's fucking true. So, this is even worse than the goddamn proprietor of any business sucking the Gestapo dick and running their game on me. That's worse than that. Because if that could solve the problem, that would be great. But the infestation of this goes so much more malignant. You have your whole treason government. So the government over here gives somebody already is getting their dick sucked by the goddamn cesspool by being host to the goddamn fucking gang stalkers to roost in there. Everybody gets a chance to hit reset. Everybody does. But what they do with it's a different story. So, I'm going to say this. I do my best to get right with me so I can deal with all of this. I'm a fucking superhero because I'm surviving it. I'm a superhero because I can teach it. I'm a superhero, but first and foremost, because I'm just speaking up and out against it. That's all it takes to be a superhero. I mean, we can cosplay them the livelong day, and it might take some working up to get to there, because it's scary to tell the truth. I'll be honest with you guys. I have to have my inner chi to be able to navigate all this fuckery. And it's not always easy. I cry sometimes. Sometimes I get scared. And sometimes I'm like, wait, there's nothing to be scared here. It's all a work in progress. But I will say this. Waking up today, I was very thankful to be here. It was really cold last night, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to sleep in this. And I go through my mind of my plan for that. And I'm like, you know what? I have a 4x4 gazebo tent. What are the fucking chances of ending up with a 4x4 gazebo tent? That's fucking badass. I mean, it's perfect for my red wagon. I have a cloak. You know, and I can work it out. I mean, I'm not looking forward to it at all. No, make no mistake. But, first off, your treason government put me in this position. Thank you, Barbara. And that woman running around in fucking FEMA. Oh my God, FEMA, don't tell me that woman is still delegating to you guys how to crack my egg. I mean, your dick is all up in the goddamn barrel of treason. You are the treason government. And you all character assassinated me, libeled me, slandered me. What? Are you going to gang stalk anybody who comes to tell me the truth? Is that what you think you're going to do? Is that why nobody has come to bridge the ambiguity with truth? I mean, despite the CIA, FBI, CSI, whoever. Because there's no reason why I should have been kept in the frying pan this long. And there's no reason why nobody has come to bridge the ambiguity with truth. Well, the truth is out there. Just because you think I'm sitting here in the blind, and I am, doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. And all this time that you let go by, you incriminate yourself. And I'm looking at you, judges in Texas. You let all this time float by, and here I am, scrimping by, getting experimented on by the goddamn government to get me to commit suicide, and you all know I have fucking money. And you all know I'm a loaded woman. I'm really loaded, guys. It's true. It's so true. And yet, you all let fucking Barbara cash in my trust fund monthly checks? Now, we know Barbara, she not right. So we're going to give her the free pass and just kindly put her in a pedestal and give her the hell all livelong day. And her problems can go away. Now, I'm looking at you, judicial. Who the fuck let that one uncheck? Are you hitting that? Or is she just providing the nice connections for all the dastardly black magic? Because you guys gotta fix that. I'm tired of living like this, and you guys are all laughing at me. So, this is the jig, America. For all you gang stalkers that were fed bullshit about me, and you think you're doing a good job or something, when you're just goddamn fucking serial murderers and psychos, you fucking came after an innocent person with fundage that was mine. I mean, it's so fucking hilarious, you know? I mean, I should probably be all mad and shit, but like I said, I've worked past that. And when you do, you get here. It's a beautiful place. You can problem solve a lot more effectively and communicate a lot more effectively too, I might add. You know how hard it is to get to a solution when you're seeing red? Well, there you go. Those assholes, the regalities, always push my buttons. I'm a good woman to get me to see red so that they can turn around and show the world what an insane person I am and then turn around and exploit the presence of trichotillomania in my life. And y'all all fell for it. You should be ashamed of yourselves. But I can get past that. Can you? So, FEMA, Texas, Montgomery County, Edie Conley, I know you and Barbara were like this. I mean, I don't know you per se, but were you helping that woman steal my money from me? Because Miss Conley, I don't know you from Joe, but you were at my mama's house the day my baby sister died. What a coincidence. Is it a coinciding incident? I don't know. But I know you were there. Because I was there. And you talked to me. You asked me, do you think your sister was placed there? Or she put herself there? Now, that's a very delicate way to ask. So, I mean, I don't know your genetic blueprint or if you've been cloned out. I mean, I don't know. But, my sister was, put there because of fucking spell work and black magic death practitioners came in over there, sacrificed her. I know that now. I'll expand on that another time. But you are Barbara's good friend of many years. You don't happen to know if she's taking my money or not for reals, do you? Because I'm going to ask you personally to make sure you fix it. Because, I feel like I know you already. And I feel like you might be the better person to get that done. Since all eyes are going to be looking at you and shit. And your career depends on it. Unless if you don't have a career anymore and you're retired, then your retirement depends on it. And if you have been partaking of the cesspool, now's a good time to own up to it and take care of it. And be the example of fucking owning up to shit. I mean, being a judge and everything. Not everybody's perfect. But it would not be a good idea to run your dick into the ground with it. That's my point here. That'd be a lot more insulting to the public and to me. It's like saying, we don't think you guys can figure it out. And if you do, we don't care if you do. Because I've seen that out here. That's pretty much what we're up to out in the world of gang stalking. They're not hiding it anymore, honeys. They're just like, we're here and deal with it. Yep, that's where we are at. I didn't mention the gang stalking as I hide your head to it. That's where we are at. So, Mr. Fred Myers, I'm going to thank you for taking a shining to me and supporting me as a targeted individual just by leaving me alone out here. And if you don't, well, that's cool. I know this parking spot is very precious to you. And, it's so much more important to rail over the community and get a handout for it than it is to protect the community, because that's what the targeted individuals are for, right? The bias is built in, and the protection is built in. And the treason government is still going to protect you at all costs, right? Are you willing to chance that? As I'm not a betting woman, but I can tell you right now, I'd bet you all the money in earth energetically, that's upright, you'd lose. It's all man out for himself now. This is treason. This is treason. This is punishable by law. I mean, the law calls for death, but you know. But whether or not you do, I will be respectful. And whether or not you do, I will be sure to notate that with honor and respect. You want to shit on me? I'll notate it respectfully. You want to help them kill me by edging me out? That's fine. I'll respect that. Because what happens to me is not up to me, it's up to the Most High. And not to mention your ability to not go into poverty. Well, that's in your hands. It's all ethically based, though. I hope you guys can process that. Because it matters. And if you don't, well, then that matters. If you don't care, well, don't care. But it matters. But FEMA, you gotta get fucking in check. And Edie Conley, I'm looking at you, friend. Barbara's your fucking mess. She's your friend. And if there is a fucking docket with fucking money that belongs to me, I'm holding you responsible for not getting it to me. I mean, is it possible in a court of law? Fuck no. But in a spiritual court, I can put in an order for it to see how that works out. And even then, I know my way around the goddamn dictionary and fucking critical thinking. The earth will take care of you. So, feast or famine, friend. I need some help here. Because nobody's come to bridge the fucking ambiguity with truth. So, it's on you, Edie Conley. Get the shit to me. Get me out of here. And then the treason. Start there. And if you don't, well, then okay. I'm then just blowing smoke up your skirt. But, you know, karma is a thing. It'll be so much fun to see how it plays out for you. If you're not dead already, because I don't even know if you're alive. For reals. It's just she was there. That's Barbara's friend. And they live in Montgomery County of Houston, too, so it's very pertinent to that courthouse. And Barbara is quite the little boo thing for FEMA. Being a coven and everything. Anyhow, the point of this was that I am nervous. I kind of feel like crying before I leave my fucking truck. And, you know, they all look at me like the fair market trash. And, you know, they're psycho. But even then, I have to dig my heels in deep. On the regular. But my story is no different than any of you. My story could be your story. And some of you are living this story. Maybe in secret, maybe out there, or maybe they're working you over to the public to make you look like fit for the asylum, because they do that. And if you went along with it and you were duped into it, well, they railed you. But if I can make it this far, you all can make it to any place in your life. We're the same. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. Just because you're not going through it now, if you end up going through it, you've been equipped. Not just with logistics, but also knowing you can get through it in the spirit. It's because if I can do it, anybody can do it. You never know what you can do until you're called to do it. I learned that in working as a paramedic. There were plenty of times I went on scene all scared and shit. Because, you really put your back into it. You want to do a good job and everything. That's what we call eustress. The good kind of stress that serves you. But one day, that started to dissipate. And it was just like a beautiful, well-worn shoe. I love those shoes. But until anybody gets there, yeah, it's scary as fuck. These people go for the jugular. And if you haven't experienced it, it's a fucking horrific nightmare. And these guys, they fucking funk you for it too. They'll be like, living a real life nightmare. They say that shit. I'm like, again, my heart goes out to everybody living it and not knowing it because this is their first indoctrination. And my heart goes to all the children that have to endure the other satanic kids coming at them in school, working pro bono. Because I've seen that. That's why I'm like, I wouldn't put my kids in a public school. Fuck no. Maybe, teach them at home to the best of what you can. And then integrate them during, extracurricular activities such as sports. Then they can get in their FaceTime that way. But some children don't even tell you what they're having to endure at school. I have very good children, and I have very good relationships with each of my children, and they each were different. The one thing about my firstborn is that she never always told me what was going on with her that bothered her. That was news to me because I'm like, as a kid, I told my mother fucking everything. But that was how she was built. And I say that because there's a lot of satanic covens on the rise in your schools. And they like to frequent churches too to dupe everybody. So if you have kids, just because they don't tell you what's going on doesn't mean they're not going through anything. So watch out for that. That's all. So now I'm going to exit my car, and every time I do, I feel like they're all looking at me like the fair market trash, but whatever. I have to live that down day in and day out. They treat me like the goddamn fucking pariah when I'm fucking being railroaded as the goddamn victim. So, me documenting, thank you for stopping by. I feel safe. I feel safe. Thank you, everybody. But now I get to go fucking figure out what's happening to me. Hopefully, if I'm able to stay here, I'll make my best time of it. And unofficially give Fred Meyer, give me a month. If you can't, that's fine. But in this month, I'm gonna knock out my fucking first autobiography. It's my best way of making a buck. I really wanted to go panhandling, with doing my performance art. That's what it's called, busking. I didn't know it had a name. But busking at these intersections because it's fit. It's very fit. I haven't built up the courage yet. I don't know why. So, instead of the busking, I'll bust out a fucking book and try to do it in a fucking month. And if I get it done, I get it done. If I don't, I don't. But Fred Meyer, I'm gonna ask that personally of you to give me a month. with a plan in place. Y'all already know what I do. I either go to the dispensary when my kid gives me some money for it, and I'm very economical with it. Y'all know that. And I go to the library. Y'all know that. So, Fred Meyer, if you were to invest in me like that, I'd be happy to honor you with the accolade of doing so. But if you don't want to, don't feel pressured. I'm not about that. It would be appreciated, sure. But I guess I'll just have to figure it out again somehow. Meanwhile, these fucktard government experimenters, they coordinate the scenarios and throw the shit at you, impoverish you to see how you survive it. To watch you, document you, right up to you fucking die, bitches. Then the question becomes, how many snuff films do you all have already? That we'll never see on the many faces of death. Ah, how many of y'all remember that? I do. I've always been fascinated with death from a healthy perspective. Like, what's going on here? What's that? How's it work? How can I help fix it? That's where I come in at death with. I mean, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, her whole work was built around death. How people handled it. Not just for the person dying, but for the families around them. And that's how we have the 5 stages of death, which is very pertinent to everybody. Because if you can understand that's what somebody goes through, not necessarily in that steps, you can gauge how they're getting through it, or at least be able to meet them at that point and help them from that point through it. So, if you were to offer me the space and invest in me, Fred Meyer, I'm asking for a month. No more, no less. And meanwhile, I'll put my back into really busting out a novel. I mean, no pressure, right? But if I know I can stay steadfast in one place, it does take the pressure off of surviving, help me gain more clarity and focus. And then me just by saying that, I know that these fucking fuckers that could get me out of the trenches will be like, no, we'll give her the month, see what happens. Fuck you. My expectation is to be saved from the trenches before the month is up. Or like, before the next 24 hours, but whatever. You all have your own agendas, and it's not human life, because y'all keep me in the goddamn frying pan. I mean, ask anybody else that's not a gang stalker, see what they think. But for what it's worth, I do appreciate any and all ethical movements behind the scenes that may or may not be there. Because, for the most part, it's just me in spirit. And apparently, a lot of banter you hear in your head and these thoughts that pop up in your mind you think is you, not so much. So we hang out back here and we have a good time and they make me laugh. Don't tell nobody. Okay, I gotta go. I'm thirsty. I'm hungry. And I get to see how my world plays out there. And what happens when I go to sleep and where I'm going to be warm and all. Whatever. That's to the opposition. And I've had some friends support me with the donations. Thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate it. I need a wireless charger for my phone. I'm gonna go get one. I feel like that's a necessity. Outside the weed, but you know, I have weed now. I smoke dabs. It's so much more economical. I mean, you can get like a gram of dabs from a fucking dispensary depending the consistency of it, that $6 can last you a whole week or 2 weeks. It's amazing. I love Washington. I'm in balance. And plus, it's poor man's Prozac, and that's how I deal with you fucking gang stalkers too, by the way. So judge me for it. I don't care. Y'all judge me unmercifully anyway, so you can throw that in there. I'm alright with it. Anyways, thank you everybody for listening. You guys showing up to listen helps me feel safe. It feels like a cocoon that I'm nestled in. So thank you. Alright, I gotta go dodge and weave this cacophony and see what these crazy karmics have for me today. But I'm gonna post Afro Zen Adana's video that I watched today. That's pertinent. I mean, to gang stalkers and everything. And to death magic practitioners. I think y'all really need to watch it. Because stop doing your spell work. It rebounds onto your children, your family. And if they don't know you're doing the fucking spell work, well, now they have to pay for your fuck shit. And if you like your siblings, don't kill them. Don't risk it. Anyways, welcome to the ethers. Bye for now. I'll let y'all know what happens.